Hank Williams was from a poor home. He was born on September 17, 1923 in Mount Olive, Alabama. He was the second child in his family, and he had a sister named Irene born in 1922, and a brother named Ernest Hubble Williams, who was born in 1921. Sadly, Ernest died 2 days after his birth. His father was put in the Veterans Administration Hospital when Hank was 6. His mother ran a rooming house, and it eventually moved them all to Greenville and then to Montgomery. He had a condition called spinal bifida, which caused a separation from him and those around him. Since his dad was in the hospital, Hank didn't see much of him, and so Hank mainly had his mother and music. Music was Hank's way of connecting to the world around him. He began learning folk and country music at 8, and a street performer named Rufus Payne Tetot taught him the blues. Hanks once said Payne gave him all the music training I ever had. When he was young, he quit school to become a musician. At 14, Hank had a band called Hank Williams and the Drifting Cowboys and was entering talent contests. He had had his debut on the radio a year earlier. His spine condition caused him great pain, and he often used extreme amounts of alcohol to numb it. This made him an unreliable performer. In 1944, he married Audrey Shepard, who played bass in his band. She had a 2-year-old daughter at the time. In 1949, Hank Williams Jr. was born. The marriage didn't last because of Hank's reliance on alcohol and Audrey's insistence that she sing, despite her lack of talent. Audrey's relationships with Hank's mother was not very good. Hank began his career by writing for a singer named Molly O'Day. Performing on the Louisiana Hayride, a regular Saturday night performance hosted by a radio station, gave Hank a name recognition, but it wasn't until his first hit, Lovesick's Blue, in 1949, that he really became famous. He wrote religious songs using the pen name Luke the Drifter. He often showed up drunk, if he showed up at all, for live appearances. Hank's dependence on alcohol and morphine got him fired from the Opry and eventually ended his marriage to Shepard in 1952. 1 year earlier, he had had a heart attack in Florida. Later in 1952, he married a younger woman named Billie Jean. That same year in Knoxville, Tennessee, he collapsed in a hotel room from drug and alcohol abuse. It wasn't until New Year's Day in 1952 that he had a heart attack in the back of his blue Cadillac and was discovered by his college-age driver at 5:30 in the morning. In his song Midnight in Montgomery, Alan Jackson sings of Hank's spirit. Because when the wind is right, you'll hear his songs and smell whiskey in the air. Midnight in Montgomery, he's always singing there. The song tells of when he went to pay respects to Hank's grave. He wrote, "And a drunk man in a cowboy hat took me by surprise, wearing shiny boots, nudie suit, and haunted eyes." David Allen's song, "The Ride," speaks of when a budding musician hitches a ride with a pale stranger. Even Hank Jr. himself wrote of his father's overwhelming presence in Hank's childhood home. If you ever drive by his grave on a quiet night, listen carefully, and you just might hear him singing still.